constitutes a good marriage to you? What constitutes a good marriage to me is being honest and having a good time in the marriage. Not being able, stop, do it again. What constitutes a good marriage to me? What constitutes a good marriage to me is a marriage that is strong and weak. And I guess filled with honesty where you can have fun in the marriage and be yourself.
Okay, that's nice. What constitutes a good marriage to me is first we both got to be on the same page, with everything.
Right.
And we got to have the same beliefs.
Yeah, number one.
And being true and honest with each other. Because if we're not, it's going to get told in the back end anyway. I mean, you can hide your feet. I mean, you can hide your head and your feet gonna show.
That's true.
So
That's
either way,
true.
what's done in the dark will come to light. So just keep it 100.
Right.
Keep it real, and you deal with the consequences then.
So that constitutes a good marriage.
Okay. That's my belief.
True, and that's mine. I mean, evidently we've been doing it a little while, so I guess we're on the same page. 21 plus. Not counting 2 years of. All right. I guess marriage, they say marriage could be hard, but what's hard for us in our marriage? That was, one of the questions. And I would say what's hard in our marriage at this point is nothing. I mean, because we are able to work through everything. It's not like we ever had any real major problems, and I think that's because we always keep God first.
It was hard in our marriage. I wouldn't say it was really, really hard, but raising kids and keeping them on the track that you want them to stay on.
Yeah.
Because every now and then kids will stray off and do their own thing to find themselves, but eventually come back. But during that period that if they strayed off, you worry.
Right, definitely.
Because times now ain't like it was back then when we was growing up.
Yeah.
So
that was a little hard,
Yeah.
but we thank God they're all grown now.
Right.
And I guess when we first got married, one of the hardest things that was for me now that I think about was sharing. Like, I was so used to being by myself. Even, if I had other relationships, we wasn't living together. And, so my problem, sharing the bathroom, sharing closet space, sharing, food, and having to get over saying me and mine and saying ours. So
I still can't use your cup to drink out of.
No. Truth be told, I still like to keep certain things separate, but I'm hoping we answered, the question for the person that sent that one in. And the next one was, is it normal for us to argue? And how do we end arguments?
I think arguments are normal. I mean, every marriage is going to have an argument every now and then because you're going through the course of life.
Right.
And there's the small roadblock there, so you may have an opinion on how to get through it, and I may have an opinion, and they may not be the same opinions, but
True.
You say yours work, and I say mine's work, and that just goes back to the last question. Things we got to shed off that we were so used to doing.
True.
So, it's not I and me no more, is we. So how we gonna get through this?
Right. And the second part of that was, how do we end the argument? For me, as everybody, know, I like laughing. I like humor. So I think that usually happens in our argument because I'm going to always laugh and crack a joke and joke.
And sometimes I don't think it's funny.
I know, but
if you do.
Right, I'm gonna always. So I think that's usually how we end the arguments, or we just what? I mean, how do you think?
I guess that's why they say opposites attract. Well, we are total opposite at times.
That's real.
On a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, because I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna joke and I'm gonna play.
At the end of the day, it brings us back to where we need to be at.
Right, and I think that's part of being who you are in the marriage. Like, you can't come in a marriage one way and then be something different. You know, you got to be who you are. Yes, we grow and mature over time, but I'm still me. Like, I ain't gonna laugh if somebody die. You know, I might crack a joke, but every now and then. But you know, you have to be who you are in the marriage. That's the realness that we have.
Okay.
Hopefully we answered the question. I guess the next one says, as a married couple, how do you handle stress individually and then together?
Okay, the way I handle, well, actually, I try not to get stressed out a lot because I know when I get stressed, you go crazy.
True.
It's like I have the strong emotion of the relationship, and yours more.
You're the calmness to my storm.
Yeah, I'm the calm one, and you the
storm.
Yeah, storm. Yeah, and if you don't see me crack up and go off the deep end, that keeps you calm. But there are times when I do wanna, like, say, I can't take it no more. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that, and that's gonna tear you down. And I made a vow not to do that.
Right.
So I don't let you see that side of me, but it does happen.
I mean, I agree. You're human, so I know that. I think individually, we do handle it different because even though I try not to let things get to me, I'm the type, I say what I have to say, or I deal with something, then I let it go, whatever it is. I have to address it or acknowledge it. And I know sometimes with you like to, I like to act, not react. So by you staying calm, it does help me in a lot of situations. And that's the good part of me being the storm and you being the calmer one.
But also, at times, my calmness, you think I'm not concerned or worried about anything.
No, I know you're not worried. I think
I am
nonchalant, but you just handle it different. I mean, I know that now, but as far as that's more like how we handle it collectively. Because individually, we totally are opposite handling it. But it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
You'll pull me back some when I get too far out, no matter what the situation is. And sometimes I do push you a little bit to deal with the situation right then and there, but just in a more relaxed way. Would you agree?
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully we answered the question. As a married couple, do we ever talk to others about our relationships?
No.
Well, I talk to God, and as you say, sometimes the many people in my head, but how I've learned to deal with a problem that we have, and hopefully this will really, really help the person that asked this question. I would talk to you about you as if you're somebody else. Right or wrong. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not talking to my husband at the time. I'm talking to my friend. So if I talk, and even though you think I'm crazy, but it helps me to not go outside and talk to anyone else. Other than God, I'll talk to you. Now, if it's something crazy and funny that you did, of course I'm going to pick up the phone and, tell my oldest daughter, look, Mike just did this because it's funny. Like if you looking for your glasses and they on your face. So we both did that. So things like that, but for the most part, I'm able to come to you and talk to you about whatever situation that's going on that I'm not comfortable with in our relationship.
Okay.
So who do you talk to?
I don't talk to nobody.
So would you encourage that to the person that asked the
I
question?
mean, everybody's different and everybody deals with every situation differently. Me, I'm a too myself person. I don't blurt out my business to anybody, and if I got a problem with you, I'm gonna come tell you what's up,
Right.
and you can either accept it or not.
So
And we go from there. But I don't talk to nobody.
okay. And so that would be for that person to make the decision
Yeah.
whether or not you want to go outside your marriage or relationship and talk to somebody in reference to whatever problem it is, or if you want to just confront that person, your spouse or, your mate, and deal with it.
But I do encourage you not to take your business outside to someone else and get their opinion, because at the end of the day, we got to deal with each other. So what you say may work for you and yours, and may not work for us. So let us do us and us figure it out, and you do the same.
But make sure it's what's best for y'all relationship. Now, if
Right.
it's something domestic violence or anything like that, by all
Oh, yeah.
means,
Oh, yeah.
go outside, get
Oh, yeah,
help.
definitely some help.
But if it's, normal problems in a relationship, the first thing you want to do is talk to your spouse or your mate about the problem. That's the first thing.
And if you do go out and talk to someone, make sure it's like-minded people like yourself. Like, you're married. Don't go out and talk to a single person, because they don't understand nothing about marriage and what it takes to be married.
True.
Let them do them and you do you.
True.
You'll figure it out.
True. The next question came, and it says, "What's the best part of your marriage?" You want to answer that one first, or you want me?
The best part of my marriage is, I say just being married. I mean, I was single for like, what? When I get married? 37?
37.
Single for 35 years.
Yeah.
A little more. I mean, I've done everything under the sun imaginable. Had this, had that, this, did that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you grow up and you get tired of that stuff, and it's time to settle down, and you find someone that you want to have kids with and grow old with and build something with, and that's what we have here. So the best part for me about being married is being married to someone that you want to be married to.
I concur. I would say the best part of my marriage is being married, but also being married to someone who is completely opposite of me, but still compatible. Meaning, like I said, I'm the storm, you're the calmness. And when God sent you in my life, after what, I've had before, it made me cherish and be thankful for the blessing and a man that God has given me.
So what you're saying is, you got to go through the trash to get through the treasure.
Right. And that's how I looked at it. And because you were so mature and, like you said, you have already done da-da-da-da. And I could be me in a relationship. I was like 85 pounds when you met me.
80.
Okay, 80, 85.
85 with your boots on.
With the gun on. But, you didn't say, oh, you need to, gain some weight. I was me. I've always been me, the way I am, as far as my personality and everything. and you didn't try to change that. I've always dressed a little wild and unique and crazy. You didn't try to change that. You accepted me who I am. Though I was wearing name brands, I wasn't hooked on name brands, so you didn't try to say, okay, well, you got to have this person, you got to, I could be me. And that's the best part of being married to someone that you can be real with, someone that you can grow old with, have fun with. We compete against each other in a good way. Like it's like God handpicked us for each other after we both had dealt with some mess. And that's the best part of being married.
Okay.
Hopefully we answered your question. Now what's the worst?
The worst thing about marriage to me is probably the very heated arguments that we have when it seems as if the other one is going to walk out that person's life and all of this ends. So what I do personally, I flip the script.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
See, and like say we have a heated argument or something, and you get real pissed, and you act as if you want to walk out and leave me.
Yeah, but I ain't going nowhere.
Right. So what I do, I'll flip the script. I'll get even more heated. Well, act like I'm even more heated,
right?
And act like I'm gonna leave out. And have you running chase after me.
Child, please.
But even though I'm not going nowhere,
I know.
I just want you to calm down and come back to where you need to be. And that works.
It works. It used to. But I think now I'm like, he ain't going nowhere. The heated arguments, it's funny to me. And I know everything is not always, a laughing matter, but I think me keeping humor and everything, it calms me down. Like if we have a heated argument, I will either laugh at something you say or something you do. Like I gotta put humor in it, and that's been my personality through life. Humor is everything to me. But the worst part to me is not the arguments. The worst part to me is no worst part. Because
you gotta be the worst part.
Why? I enjoy being married. The worst part maybe when, okay, I would say this. And it's probably not, like money is not our problem, but when stuff come in the mail and you keep ordering stuff and I'm like, hey, you could have made this, or why you constantly ordering things? So if it had to be anything, I would say that. The worst part of our marriage.
What?
If that's the part. Like, I don't see anything as the worst part.
The worst part is getting stuff in the mail that I ordered.
Bama, you know that you constantly ordering things. But other than that, especially sometimes things that you can actually make, but I don't see a worst part. Like, I really don't. I don't know. Hopefully I answered your question. And that's a good thing if there's no worst part in a marriage. I mean, we have heated arguments, but that's just it. It's an argument. It doesn't go anywhere. We try to solve the problem. The question was, what did you have to change for your marriage?
What? The thing I had to change was getting used to tearing off all the me, the I, and the minds, and getting used to saying us, we, and ours. That was the hardest part for me.
I will concur.
Because for being single so long and doing what I wanted to do, then after coming to a circle where just two people and you can't go out and do what you want to do and come back to that small circle, that's that was really hard for me because I was out there.
Yeah, you were. I would say the only thing that was hard for me to change was letting go of me always wanting to be in control. Letting go to a certain extent.
Okay.
Giving up me and making it for us. Like you said, I was so used to doing things my way and having that control that it was hard being submissive. And when I mean submissive, just, letting my husband take the lead and then me, as long as you're following God. So that probably was the only thing that I had to change, as making it us instead of me, and giving up always being in control. I control this, I control that, because that's what I was doing as a single person. You're in control of everything. But when you become married, you have to sit down, like, what do you want to do? And we have to discuss everything before we make decisions. Well, to a certain degree, but... Okay, the next question said, how important, I love this one, how important is faith and spirituality in your marriage?
It's very important. I mean, it's top priority because without that, you have nothing. I mean, that's the basis of your marriage, what you believe in.
True.
So if you believe in any old thing, you'll be doing any old thing. But if you have a script that's set for you that you want to go by and live by, I think that sets the tone for what you're going to do and be doing throughout your marriage.
I agree, and that's one of the reasons probably why I really fell in love with you, because I was already in church, and you knew about God, and you were saved. You had been saved growing up, but you wasn't living that life. And I was living it to a certain degree. I was going to church and everything. So when I told you, okay, well, come and go to church with me, and you was coming, no hesitation, and, you met Pastor, and Pastor talked to you, took you in the back, and, da-da-da-da, and, he agreed to marry us after counseling, and we didn't even have to do a lot of counseling, because it was like 2-3 sessions, and he was like, he saw everything. I think that really helped, because you believed in God, and you already had a relationship with God, and as your mama said, it pushed you more into God after we got married and everything. So I think that really helps. And I will say to anyone, if you trust God, you have to put God in your marriage. That's the only, God should be in everything, but in your marriage, because things come at you so strong in different ways, keep God first. Okay, so we're winding down. Another question was asked, which spouse is more likely to start a conversation? You know that I'm going to talk. I don't care. The only time I don't really talk to you if you're watching the game, but I will start a conversation because I like to know how your day was, what's going on. Even though we talk throughout the day, it's different when you come home. Because you're not going to talk. He's still so nonchalant. But go ahead, answer the question.
Well, it's just probably my upbringing. I mean, you model yourself after your role models. And my pops was my role model, so to speak. So he's the quiet type, and I have a lot of his genes in me, so it just trickled down to me. And that's why my son is the same way. We have our personalities from pops. Quiet, laid back, observant.
No, laid back too.
So,
Go ahead.
and ready to tell you about yourself if need be.
Right.
So, I mean, that's
just part of who you are.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of my genes. That's part of my makeup of being me.
Right, and I accept that. At times, it's a little hard, but I never try to change you. Because I know who you are. So, you know, I'm gonna start the conversation. That's just me, my personality. I'm more friendlier, or I'm gonna say friendly. I can talk more to you about anything. I can talk to you about anything, but it's hard for me to start a conversation outside with people. I'm not as friendly, as people always say. You know, I'm not approachable to a certain degree, but in house I start a conversation, chit chat. You know, that's just who I am. And one of the last ones was, are you ever afraid to talk to your spouse about anything? For me, no. I would talk to you about anything. I don't think there's anything that I've ever kept from you.
Up to when you buy clothes and hide them in the closet.
Yeah, well, that's the same as one. But no. I tell you maybe after a couple of days or maybe a week. And I'm not the only one that helps me do that. Your son will take something to the room for me in a minute. But as far as real things, and I don't like go crazy spending unnecessary money. But as far as realness, I don't think it's nothing that I can't talk to you about.
And same here. I mean, my life in this relationship is like an open book to you. I mean, you got the passcode to all my social medias. I mean, you're my social media secretary, so to speak. So, I mean, if I want to hide something, where would I hide it at?
No, if you wanted to hide something, when there's a will, there's a way. But I thank God that there's never been.
Like I said, I've been there, done that.
Right.
You know.
I think with us, there's nothing to hide because we were so upfront with each other when we got into marriage. And I think, and because our marriage is constantly growing and we're having fun and, you know, getting old together, there's nothing else to do. And if we agreed that if there was anything that we wanted to do, we'd sit down and talk to each other first. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I let the people know. You sound real quiet on that part.
I might get hungry, that's all.
We're shooting. Okay. Goodness.
I can still get hungry.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add for this first episode?
No, we just hope that you found something in all this conversation that you can apply to your marriage or your relationship that's going to work for you and keep it strong as we have ours here. True, Conqueror.
Conquer marriage. Don't let marriage conquer you. You know, you be the glue that keeps the marriage together and keep God in it. So we thank you for our first episode of Black Love Conquers.
Black Love Wins. So you got to write that something.
Black Love Conquers, Black Love Wins. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. We got it. And we will see you on our next episode. Don't forget you can email or hit us up on social media if you want us to answer your questions in reference to marriage from our point of view.
You want to give me your email and your social media sites?
Oh, I thought you was going to do that.
No, you're my secretary. You do that.
See what I mean? What's my email?
You're so old, I don't know.
Give them the email.
You still use MySpace. So I don't know.
This mama is on
All
jokes.
Right. Mine's MWC.
You don't even check yours.
I check mine every day, 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay, give them your email. And you answer them too.
My email is mwc8762@gmail.com. Now the other stuff I don't know.
Okay. My email is twndcredle@yahoo.com. Yes, I still. Bama, you the one that made that email for me.
When we first got married,
Okay.
20-something years ago. And you still
Email or hit us up on social media.
You know that one.
Under Mike Cradle on Instagram or the Bowtie Mike Cradle on Facebook.
I thought it was Bowtie Mike.
Look, Just hit us up if you have a question you want answered. We love you all.
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Be blessed.